Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Bank Black and Nerd Culture, baby.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, today we're gonna talk about Invincible. Not that Invincible, this Invincible. We are gonna get into this crazy animated series, man, that Kev actually put me onto. It's one of the ones that I would have slept on if not for you, bro.
Man, I actually didn't know too much about Invincible until maybe a year or two ago. They were talking about making a show. And then I was like, all right, let me check out some information about the comic, and got a chance to get into some of the stories. And I was like, man, this thing is something else, man. It's
It's
dope.
wild. It's
Yeah,
wild.
man. Yeah, and just kind of see it in action. It still doesn't. I mean, like reading about it or watching like the comics, it still doesn't measure to what it is when you actually see somebody getting hit, the
Yeah.
impact of it, the weight of it, and when they actually hear the characters, how you think they sound in your head, and actually how they speak into this world or realm. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so I'm not a big comics guy, so most of the time if shows or movies or whatever have a comic book origin, I don't know what the fuck it is anyway. Unless I watch like some YouTube clips on it and have somebody break down what the origins are. But obviously, man, this one is from the same nigga that brought you The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkland, I think his name is, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Kirkman.
Kirkman. Um, and yeah, you spoke about like the voice actors and the people that are in it. Amazing voice actors in this one. You got Glenn from The Walking Dead. A lot of people from The Walking Dead. Obviously,
Yeah.
since it's the same dude, the same creator. He brought in his homies. So you got Glenn, you got Maggie, right?
Yeah.
From The Walking Dead as
Uh,
well.
man, I can't remember. I've actually stopped watching Walking Dead, so I can't remember all the characters.
Yeah, that shit's gone on
Uh,
way too long.
Tyrese sisters is part of it. They got those actors. Man, I can't remember the actor's name. The one who was holding was walking around with the stick.
Not
Man,
Michonne,
what's
right? No, no,
not
no, no, no.
Michonne?
I'm sure that was a sword.
Click learn. Click.
The
Sorry,
shit. What the hell is that?
I was trying to look up those names of all those actors. I couldn't remember, and then I was watching the um how
Porn.
to video. No, no.
The porn started.
I was trying to figure
Take
out
it
that
off
stuff.
mute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna try to look it up too. You guys could look it up, man. Y'all got the same capabilities that we do. Got the chick. What's her name? ZZ from
Zazzy
Zazzy,
Beats.
yeah, from Atlanta. Gorgeous chick, man. Jason Mantzoukas, I'm a huge fan of him, and I think he's hilarious. He voices one of the characters as well.
If you're a fan of Community, Julian Jacobs.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's in there.
A lot of good voice actors, man. So I think it's an amazing show. It's raw as fuck. I
Man.
know some people are, have their reservations when I suggest a show like an animated show.
Yeah.
But this one has to be animated. There's no way that they could pull it off. Or they could, but
No.
it's
It's too much. It'd be too much,
it's
man.
too yeah, that's what I mean. It's like if you were to do a live action version of it would be too graphic. I mean, there's no way. There's no rating there's no R or X
Yeah.
TVMA that you could justify actually making a show with the level of rawness that they do,
Yeah.
with the animated form. So it's crazy, man.
It would almost kind of be more campy or goofy if they did it in live action.
Yeah,
Because if you were able to see all the gore in which they're trying to do, you'd be so much on the gore you wouldn't really feel the impact of the
that's true.
characters.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
I mean, then it goes into the era of horror at some point because of how bad how gory it is.
yeah,
And then the characters, if they're hit or if they're scratched or they're cut, that's going to be there. it takes time for them to heal versus other
Yeah.
animated shows you watch. They maybe have hit, but they never see the scar. They have like little hash mark to show where they're gonna be, where they were hit.
Yeah.
But no, if your eyes are red, your eyes are red. The rest of the show,
Yeah, man. They
So
do a lot of great attention to detail. In the last episode, obviously, the immortal was trying to gouge Omni-Man's eyes out, and
spoiler alert for
next
everybody.
episode. Yeah, spoiler alert, man. Good
Spoiler
point.
conversations.
Good point. Yeah, if you have not watched or know what we're talking about as far as the season 1 of Invincible goes, go check out the entire thing, and then come back to us probably a day or two later, and finish watching this episode. So yeah, at this point, we definitely gonna get into some spoilers, man. But yeah, you brought up a really good point. They do a lot of great things with the continuity of the show. Overall, man, I just think it's amazing. Just like on a couple of the episodes of Falcon Winter Soldier where things would happen and I would hop into bitch mode and just be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
man, a ton of these episodes had me just in my fucking feels, man.
Yeah.
And not only, some of the goriness, it just had me like, oh, like cringing, like damn. The emotional impact, especially on the last episode, it got me, man. As a dad, as
The son.
yeah, as a son, absolutely, man. So yeah, I mean, I love you. I don't know where you want to start, man. Recapping this thing, but I definitely give it 2 thumbs up, bro.
Yeah, man. Before we get into everything, if you haven't had a chance, at least, because I know everybody's kind of skeptical when it comes to animation, man.
Yeah.
At least give that first episode a full watch.
Yep. To the very
Don't
end.
just give it a full watch. See what you think. Because they have the now if to go into some of the spoilers, they do have the tropes of which we're used to as far as the lineup of heroes. You're gonna have your comparisons to heroes that you've seen all growing up for the past generations. And if you're a fan of the boys, or if you're a fan of the Marvel series or DC, and then you're a fan of even Dragon Ball Z, if you're a fan of those growing up, this is basically your chance as an adult to enjoy some of those same things,
Yeah.
but have the weight of it as a more mature setting, man. And we don't you don't get too much of that as far as when it comes to animation. You're either getting kids animation, and if you're looking more for more adult animation, it's usually comedy. And then if you're looking for adult animation that deals with more stronger topics, it's usually going to be anime. And then you have to deal with that language barrier at times, and then it's still some culture things that you're trying to deal with. But this is definitely something you can easily adapt to.
Yeah.
I know my family, like my sisters, were really big into Avatar growing up, and I kind of got into Avatar: The Last Airbender because I was trying to connect to my sisters after I left home for college.
Yeah.
And man, we just connected to that because of how they deal with family, how they deal with growth, character growth. And then Invincible comes around, and I'm like shooting texts like, "Hey man, you need to check this out. I didn't check it out."
Yeah.
And my sisters, me, I mean, we've been having like group texts on the side, and I just got a text from my dad yesterday, and he was like, "Man, I just watched the first episode of this thing." He was like, "I was not ready for this." I was like,
Yeah, man, me either.
but for him to even jump into it, man, and that dude is like, I mean, cartoons of him started off with Hanna-Barbera, like Flintstones. And for him to jump into it,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Imagine seeing Yogi do some of the shit that Omni-Man is doing.
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah, you get
So
you weak, boo boo.
yeah.
Yeah, nah, bro. Now you're absolutely right, man. Cartoons have evolved. The animated stuff has definitely evolved, and this is like the combination of that. Everything that you're saying. I mean, it has everything that you would want as an adult and as a fan of the comic book superhero genre. It's cool, man. Invincible kind of has his, kind of Peter Parker-ish like origin stories, him trying to deal with high school life, balancing
Yeah.
relationships and figuring out his powers and everything like that. But it just takes that shit and trumps it up to like 100, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Dealing with his dad being obviously I would guess what you would compare to a Superman type
Yeah, definitely.
level of abilities. And yeah, like you mentioned earlier, man, the Guardians, so many parallels you can draw from heroes that we're used to,
Yeah.
like the Immortal being Wolverine,
Mm-hmm.
the Fast motherfucker. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. Being the Flash,
Yeah.
and the Batman
You,
character was the black
Darkwing, and
Darkwing. Yeah. Um,
I think it's like, what was it, War Queen, or I can't remember her
Yeah,
name.
War
I can't
Woman,
remember. War Woman.
I
Thank you,
believe.
thank you.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman. So it's like, you watch it and you can relate in your mind. You're relating those to those characters, So you're like, okay, well, this is cool. It gives you like a sense of familiarity, but it's a
Yeah,
completely different story. And
yeah,
seeing like their fate and seeing how things carry out,
yeah,
shook, you motherfucking
yeah,
shook.
yeah.
After
It
episode one and the continuation
it
is
it, it
nuts.
only gives you that to give you that sense of comfort.
Yeah,
And once you have that sense of comfort, that's when the show goes from 0 to 100.
yeah. Yeah, man.
And it's like that through the entire series in the comics, man. You're like, okay, now we leveled out, and then it ramps up again, and then like, okay, we leveled out, and it ramps up again,
Yeah,
and things have precedence or consequences for their actions. And once whatever happens, there's no going back. There's no trying
yeah,
to go back through time or revamping or go,
yeah.
having
Are
somebody
are
resurrected. Is every
yeah.
if you're dead, you're dead. If you it's just
It
kind of how it
even
is.
like in animated cartoons and stuff like that. Like from one episode to another, like a Family Guy, shit. They'll fucking shoot Peter's head off. Next episode, he's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? This ain't
Yeah,
that. This is real type shit. You know what I'm saying? If you get fucked up, you got to deal with that. You
yeah,
know. Yeah. So it's just I mean, I can't speak enough on people losing the stigma of the cartoon or the animated portion of it, man. This is raw. This is real shit. It's a
yeah,
really really good show, despite it
yeah.
being
And
animated.
and it has everything. It has the hero elements. It has sci-fi. It has aliens. It has incredible tech. It has geniuses. It has, and then I think in the comics they have time elements to it as well. They have the loony um, characters that are kind of like kind of more like the penguin kind of versions of bad guys, like your rogue squad kind of thing.
Yeah,
And then you have your more obscure characters that come into play that turns out they have bigger roles than what you thought. You may see them in passing and never give them an afterthought, and it turns out they have pretty big parts into the story.
yeah,
um it has space travel. It has like I said, aliens of all kinds, and it's not just one type of aliens. And so
yeah.
if you
Really
it's just I
creative, man. Really
yeah,
creative storylines. That they go with. Um, and I kind of like how they summed it up, at the end, because at the end of some of the episodes, it was like, well, damn, like you would expect the next episodes to start with a continuation, like of their story. So I was kind of like, this was a huge problem. Why are they not addressing this, in
yeah,
this
yeah,
new episode? But you can see how they kind of leave you on a cliffhanger saying like, oh yeah, no, these things are definitely still there and they're gonna
yeah,
come back into play, in the next seasons. And I
yeah.
did see where they confirmed season 2 and season 3, which is awesome.
Which yeah.
Which is awesome
Um,
because we need more. Need more.
Kurt, yeah, Kirkman's trying to do at least 7, which is good because I think he's learned, hopefully to learn a lesson from Walking Dead and not try to drag this stuff on, and just kind of
Yeah.
give the story. It's okay.
Have it
To
fucking conclude at some
yeah,
point. Yeah,
it's okay to have a good story and to create the beginning and the end. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's what it's about, man. Trying to have this character go full circle.
yeah.
But
Do
I
we
think,
want to get into heavy spoilers?
yeah, I was about to
I'm
say, I was
assuming,
like,
yeah,
let's go ahead and
yeah.
do it, man.
I'm assuming if anybody watching at this point, they know or
Yeah,
has watched
yeah,
the entirety of yeah.
yeah. Well, I asked, man, because I sent you the message. I was like, please watch until the end. What was your reaction, man? What was you thought about the end of the
Uh, uh,
first episode?
uh, Blown away, man. Completely 100% did not expect that. You know what I'm saying? As we talked about, the whole animated part of it makes you feel like what happened at the end of episode 1 is not going to happen. It's so far out of my fucking mind
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
would actually happen, that when it
yeah.
happened, I mean, my mouth was just like,
Oh,
I couldn't fucking, it was just to the floor, bro.
I wish I could have been there as Omni-Man is like hitting people and you're kind of like, well, okay, what's going on?
Yeah,
And the speedster is like hitting him and he's hitting them so hard and so fast that his hands are breaking as
yeah,
he's going into it. And
yeah,
then it's in slow motion. And so he's actually going through the whole process as his head is being crushed in. So his eyes are like popping out, and you're just sitting there like,
man.
whoa. And I
Yeah.
know it's coming. I know it's coming, but still to see it in
So
action.
you knew the source material. So you
Yeah,
knew
I
that.
knew it was
Okay.
coming. I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was coming the
You
first
set me up
episode
for
or
fucking
second.
failure.
Oh
You didn't
yeah, I
let me
did.
know
Yeah,
shit. You was like,
yeah.
I'm throw his ass to the wolves.
Because that's what happened to me when I was in the comics. I was like, what? And I was like, you killed them all, like for what?
Bro.
What? Like
And like we talked
why?
about, like giving you that sense of comfort with obviously, recognizable characters, them having like the same type of personalities and the familiarity with the Marvel and DC people, like I say, the Batmans and the Flash and all of that, and the Wolverines, to see them all get marked by the Omni-Man Superman character. That's one of the reasons why I really liked Brightburn and the Red Sun,
Oh
alternate versions of what Superman could be, because it's like, yeah, we all grew up knowing Superman is like this, lovable hero character, the good guy. But I always like to have those reimaginings of what
yeah.
Superman could be if he was fucking evil. And and this is that. This is that. So, I love it, but I love the way they didn't just straight out give you that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even watching at the end of the first episode, watching Omni-Man do that, you're still like, well, damn, this is pretty much the main character's dad,
Yeah.
and he's, like has that loving relationship with his son. So it's like he has to be like mind controller. There has to be some reason why he does it. Maybe the Guardians are the bad ones. So you don't really understand that, yeah, this motherfucker's evil.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he's homicidal.
yeah,
Yeah,
you don't realize
yeah,
that until the very end of the season, and I fucking love that. They did such an amazing job with that,
yeah.
like emotional roller coaster.
Contrast.
Yeah.
And credit to man, I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. The actor that did the voice of Omni Man.
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
Oh man, why can't I remember?
Yeah. Oh,
JK legend, man.
legend. Yeah,
So
legend.
JK does such a good job of being the dad,
Yeah.
the crazy guy, the guy in between,
Yep.
um, the anger, the emotion, all that. He has a complete range and he sells it
Yeah.
in just his voice alone.
Yeah.
So give shout out credit to him, man,
Absolutely.
for him doing that. Yeah, man, it's almost like the Snyder cut of the Justice League when Superman comes back to life from whenever they resurrect him,
Yeah.
and he comes back to life. They're having a whole fight, the exact same fight scene, or pretty much, but the way Snyder probably wanted to do it, like the way he takes out
Yeah.
the whole Justice League, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the other thing the comic didn't do or can't do is give the characters a voice. So like you see the
Yeah.
Green Ghost, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh man, the Green Ghost is so cute. Reminds me of my sister, man. Like she just kind of has that kind of personality. And she does. And she sees like man, who dies? Somebody dies right after that, and she's like,
Yeah,
oh no. And before she can even move or do anything, where she recognized like there's
yeah,
nothing else I can do. She's so compassionate for the person that died in her arms that she can't even fight what's going on. And the hand
yeah.
goes straight through her head. I'm just like, God, Lee.
Fucking insane, man. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Yeah.
So
There's no way to describe the emotion of seeing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the overwhelming feeling that I had. I'm like, are my eyes seeing what I'm seeing?
yeah,
Right now, and just the excitement that I had of knowing, like, damn, I love that this show is taking it there.
yeah.
And it just, from the jump, from the first episode, I was just so excited to say, all right, I want to see what more this show has in store.
So then it goes into like episode 2 and 3, which are still good episodes.
Yeah,
Animations there, there's still good fights. You're still learning a little more about Mark Grayson, who, if
yeah.
you don't know, Grayson is the last name of Robin in the comics, because it's Dick Grayson. So
Of
Kirkman
who?
took Robin, like Batman and Robin, and Dick
Oh,
Grayson
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is
Okay.
his
Yeah, yeah,
name.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
Mark
forgot
Grayson
about
is the
that.
name of the, yeah.
Yeah,
So Kirkman did that. So you learn a little bit more about him, and it puts you in another comfort level where he's like dating, and and he's
yeah,
spending time with his dad. And you still don't know quite what's going on with his dad, but his dad's playing it so coy, like cool, that you don't think
yeah,
anything other than that. And you're like, man, there's a mystery there that you don't know. And they bring in this
yeah.
other character that's like a mixture between Hellboy and basically
Yeah, the demon. Yeah, yeah.
Rorschach from Watchmen, or The Question,
Uh-huh.
and he's up to something, and you're like, oh man, what's going on with this character? Which is, man, one of was like my favorites, and definitely my sister's favorite when she was watching it.
Yeah.
And so things kind of calm down, and then you get introduced to Titan. Mahershala Ali is the voice of Titan. Love that actor,
Another
man.
good actor. Yeah. I
And
mean, this show has amazing actors.
so things kind of calm down, and you kind of like, okay, now he's getting down to more the street level. He's kind of getting the hang of things. He's taking out criminals left and right. He's
Yeah.
getting good. He's getting trained by his dad. He's like, man, I should help out Titan with his situation, trying to take out this underground king. Man, what's his name? Uh,
The head or whatever it was.
yeah, it's like
Robot ahead. I don't remember.
it's like mega head, something like that, man.
Yeah.
And I love the way they did his voice. Tech head, and they did the way he do his voice, like every time like he ends a sentence, his octaves goes off. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
in between there. And then they bring in these other guys when Mark goes into to kind of to raid the mob boss and
Yeah.
trying to take him out. It ramps up
Which was
again,
another one.
man.
Yeah. Another thing that caught me off guard. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, the show did an amazing job of taking you on this roller coaster, like making you feel comfortable, kind of almost making you forget that it does have the ability to take it to certain levels and be like exceptionally raw, but it brings you back down, and it lets you, it kind of makes you feel like, okay, nah, we were just fucking around.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do that shit no more. You don't have to
uh,
worry. Get back
yeah,
in your comfort level. You're fine. Be comfortable, and all of a sudden, bam,
yeah,
some other shit happens. And I legit thought that, when Invincible was helping out Titan, or when he got duped into the whole situation, I thought they were gonna kill him off, man, because I didn't know what to expect. And then having it be, Robert Kirkman, and be,
yeah,
in that same genre with Walking Dead. Walking Dead, man, you got close to characters, people that you thought were main characters that were gonna be mainstays, just
yeah.
you
That's
know
it.
chopped off. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so I was like, damn, well, the name of the show is Invincible, but it might be like a legacy type thing. You know what I'm saying? It might follow Omni-Man and him dealing with the death of his son. I don't know. So when I saw that whole battle, and it kind of left that cliffhanger at the end, I was like, damn, they really just killed this motherfucker off.
yeah.
And so that was great.
Yeah, that was a huge part of the story that kind of took a good shift to kind of make Mark kind of see, there's definitely weight to the being a superhero, because for us as the audience, we know how bloody this situation can be for heroes. Mark
Yeah.
doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
and he finds out firsthand from Battle Beast, who is crazy in the comics, man. Anyway, he finds out firsthand about what it takes to be a superhero, and it literally
Yeah.
takes guts. And then that whole thing was a whole complete setup,
Yeah.
but it was done by Titan. Titan sets him up, which is you don't see coming. You know what I mean? The way
Not at all.
the way the story makes it out, you have so much empathy for him, his story between his trying to get out the life and his daughter and what they're going through. So you're like, okay, he's a good character
Yeah.
that was born in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Giving him a chance, he can make things better. Turns out, man, he's in it for what he's got for himself.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about other characters like that. And there are a lot of characters that are in there that have these great points. They're in the mid ground, and you got to figure out, well, who's really good, for who's trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and who is trying to do things for themselves.
Yeah.
And it varies, and has waves, man. So it's a good show, man.
It's a great show. One of the other raw things, if that's I don't even think that's a word. Another very raw thing that happened, man, aside from like the gore and stuff like that happens, kind of a gut punch to the emotional level was when Omni-Man finally makes the reveal and has to break down the Mark, like, yo, we're here for a greater purpose. I can't remember the name of his planet, where he's from, but
Viltrum.
Viltrum. Yeah, just talking about how, the purpose and what the Viltrumites plan actually is, and doing all of that, and his purpose of why he's on Earth. And Mark asking him, so what did my mom mean to you? And this motherfucker saying, I love your mom, but she's like a pet to me. Boy, oh boy, I was mind blown, bruh. Because I knew it was like, you tell that shit to your son. Obviously, that's Mark's mom.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you expect for him to do? Of course he gonna go off. Of course he gonna be fucking pissed, But man, oh man, for the show to do that,
Yeah.
for him to say that shit, I was like, damn, this nigga's a
Yeah.
real dick.
Yeah. So, as he's explaining how the Viltrumites live for thousands of years, and how he also says that, man, this was a mere speck of my life. You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know you love me. I know, and all these things. The reason why I was saying earlier, like how the gore would not have worked in live action,
Yeah.
is because there's a scene where there's the scene where they take him down to the subway, and he's like, "If you had enough death yet?" And Mark's still trying to fight him, like, "No, you could stop this. You could be. It's okay. You can still have time to redeem yourself."
Yeah.
He takes Invincible, holds him up as a subway train is coming through the tunnel, and he just blasts through people.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
and he's trying to stop. You can see his hands. The animators drew his hands to stop, and every time he's trying to stop, people are smashing into him, and it just puts in
Crazy.
gravity of the situation that he's in, of like how his dad really does not care about human life at all.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
and everything is traumatizing him. It has to be, because he's literally like knocking into people as it goes on. And there's points
Yeah,
where
I
he
mean,
tries to save people, and he's like, this
yeah.
completely pointless.
Yeah, man. It's so, like, I want to say relatable. I don't know if that's the right word, but obviously you can empathize strongly with Mark, because shit, the only life that Mark has ever really known is human life. To
Yeah.
him, he's a human. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, Omni-Man explains, like, as time goes on, that their aging actually slows down. You know what I'm saying? But for Mark, he doesn't realize that. He has no idea what the Viltrumite life
He
is,
he just became one.
just became one. He's learning this shit on the fly as his dad is trying to tell him shit, this shit. And all he's known his whole life is he feels like his dad is a hero that protects people. Now all of a sudden he's flipping the switch, And his dad's like, man, fuck these people. You know, they don't mean anything. Their lives are pointless. Him killing the pilot right
Oh
in front of
man.
Mark, right after Mark saves them. That
Yeah.
was another. It's like this fucking show, man. Every time that I think, okay, why? What was the point of that? Just to fuck with me emotionally? Like
Yeah.
he just saved him. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, this is awesome. You know, this man's like, man, if it weren't for you, you know, I don't know if I'm the man. Just
Yeah. Great.
is man,
But
oh
busting
man.
the great, man.
You
And
know,
and
so
and
go ahead,
but
go ahead.
no, I was saying that I was saying because of if that was live action gore, you'd have been so focused on the gore rather
Yeah,
than the feeling that you had about
yeah,
what Mark is going through, what Omni Man has done, you
yeah,
know?
exactly. Exactly. You know, yeah, good point, man. Yeah, the last episode was a wild emotional roller coaster, man. You know, seeing Mark try to save the women from the collapsing building, uh, you know, and just, you know, obviously him have, you know, she not making it, you know, and um, you know, I don't know, man.
The,
Just the way
the
that Omni-Man views humanity and you see that in that reveal, it's nuts.
does man when you said was saying about the lady, it makes you think about like how he tried to save that one older woman in the earlier
Yeah,
episodes, like 2 or 3,
yeah.
and how this show shows you how, you know,
Like
unprotected or how unprotected humanity is when it comes to these superhero shows,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you're not
Like
gonna see that from Marvel.
no, you're not going to see that from any other thing. Like
Yeah,
if someone's shooting lasers and people in a town square
yeah,
or Times Square, they're going to get hit,
yeah.
and how they're just so vulnerable, man. And
The closest thing you saw to it was in Civil War, you know, when Wanda you know, blew up the building in Lagos, but that didn't even show any of the gore. It was just implied,
yeah,
obviously, you know, that a lot of people were affected by that, you know, the whole
yeah, and
Sokovia situation as well. But you know, it don't show you, like there's nothing like watching people actually be taken out by the alien invasion and by the things and all the mass casualties between the superhero and villain war that this show details that you don't actually get and see, you know, in the other things that we're used to.
no,
It's
it
just kind of implied, you know.
yeah. I mean, and for the most part, you know that, but it makes you. But Kirkman is trying to make you think about superheroes differently,
Yeah,
just like Watchmen or whatever it may be. But Watchmen didn't show them taking out civilians like this show does, like, you know.
yeah,
But there's just one thing that I was you know, noticing about, you know, the levels that gore they can go to with the animation and still have you feel the impact, but then I can go sleep at night, okay, you know what I mean, not worried that they're gonna see in that type of
yeah,
gore
yeah,
in live action. Um, the other thing was just kind of like, you know, Omni Man does have some emotion towards Mark, because Mark says as he is beating Mark to there's barely
yeah,
anything left. Like he like, and it's kind of funny, man. Like watching the scene. There are points where you try and test your dad or your parents or whatever, and they show you like, nah, son,
yeah, yeah,
I'm the adult around here.
yeah,
I've only shown you, you know, whatever it is, and you get that dose of reality of what your parents are capable and their strength is. It's
yeah.
kind of funny. Not that any parent should be that abusive, but there's a
Not at
point where your
all.
parent,
Yeah,
where your point,
I know what you
where's the
mean.
point where there's your parent pushes you back in your place.
Yeah,
Um, but man, Mark's down. He's beaten to a pulp, man, and he's like, "Yo, man, like, why you? I don't really want to fight you. Like, you're my son." Like, he
yeah.
doesn't say those words. He's like, "But why? Why? And there's in the next 500 years, there ain't gonna be nobody around. Like, why you? Who are you fighting
It's
for?
classic, man.
Who you have?" And he was like,
Yeah,
I'd have you."
still have you.
And man
But
looks at his
that
hands and
was
he's like, "Dog, how can I beat someone
man.
I love so much like that? Like, how could I
Yeah,
have
and they
done
did a
this?"
beautiful job with the you know, the flashback, you know, of
Yeah,
him, you know, with Mark playing baseball, you know, as a child and everything. that I ain't gonna lie. I've exposed multiple times on these episodes that we do with each other that your boy is somewhat of a bitch, man. You know, I've become a lot more emotional in my age. You know, with things like that, man. You know, with the kids and you know the parent and you know that
Yeah.
relationship that you have with your kids. Shit like that gets to me, man. I fucking was bawling my eyes out watching fucking Parent Trap the other day. You know, the Lindsay Lohan version. Don't know why, but yeah, man, watching him have that interaction with Mark and you know that whole little scene with the baseball and him knocking out his fucking front teeth and you know the kid not having his front teeth, you know, and
Oh,
just
that's good connection. Yeah.
him thinking about you know all of that and obviously you know Mark's mom trying to explain to Omni Man what it is to be human and to have compassion and you know, for Omni Man is a job. You know, what he's doing is a task,
Yeah.
but he's not able to, you know, fully commit and do what he needs to do because you know he has grown that human compassion. You know, so when he stops and you know he flies off and you know is shedding a tear. Shout out to the creators and the animators of the show as well because they did an amazing job with having him fly off and having the tear be like left off into space and having the blood and everything be removed from his costume as he's flying
Yeah.
off. That's a little nerd detail that I noticed when I was watching. I was like, damn, you know, they ain't had to do that, but they
No.
kept it accurate as fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, man, your boy was all in his feels again, bro. You know, it's hard to cry with the Oculus on because obviously the shit's on your face and the screen is in there, so the tears are all in my fucking eyeballs, and it's bad. It's a bad
Yeah.
situation. So yeah,
Yeah.
screw them.
Man, yeah, no worries, man. I've talked to other people who are in our age bracket that is like, man, some changes with you, man. It's just the values that you have are different, and you know have a different, deeper understanding, and people's relationships, man. But overall, the show is good. Any other surprises that you're kind of like, oh, didn't see that coming? I know it was a lot, but that was the biggest one was just Omni Man from episode 1 to episode 8. You know, what was there some other surprises that you're kind of like, dang,
Nothing as big as those reveals. I was
yeah,
a little surprised. You know, you always have it in like some of the superhero movies that you watch where the hero reveals to like a regular normal person that they have a relationship with that they have these abilities and that they are, you know, the certain superhero. So
yeah,
when Mark was ready to expose to Amber that he was invincible, and Amber's like, "Yeah, I know, I know." I didn't see that coming. That was pretty funny.
yeah.
Shout out to the animators, man. Amber and Adam Eve got it going on. I mean, I've never been one of those dudes that be into like the anime porn and all that, and but they you know they on some Jessica Rabbit type shit, man.
Oh man,
I'm like, okay, I can see it.
man,
But nah, what about for you?
my sisters can't stand Amber, man. Then the comics,
What?
she's different. I mean, first of all, it's a different race in the comics. And in the comics, she's a little bit more uh she's a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more ditzy, a little bit,
Oh,
but
okay.
still a great character. Because
Yeah,
she has her own stuff she has to go through that she has to battle through pretty much.
yeah,
But you know, there's I think the thing that they're irritated is just kind of like she's not giving Mark any wiggle room after he's trying to go out and save the city or
yeah.
whatever. There's
Right.
no wiggle room. My thing is when you're having a relationship with a strong woman, there is no wiggle room because she's like, yeah, I expected it from you. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
doing what you're supposed to do,
yeah,
but there's other stuff that you obligated yourself to, that I need you to do it. If you can't obligate, if you can't do it, let me know. Otherwise, don't obligate yourself to it. So to me, you know, from my relationship with my wife, man, I know if I come home and I'm taking out the trash, I'm cleaning the kitchen and expecting her to be like looking at me like superheroes. You're like, nah, that's what you signed up for. It's what we do,
that's
you
facts.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's
and that's
facts.
part of it with dealing with you know, strong women. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so overall, man, boy, getting brownie points, right? I see what you're doing. I see what
Yeah.
you did there. We can't see her on screen, but as
Well,
soon as
she
she walked
she's
into the room, you're like, yeah, no. So when it comes to my wife, shit, my wife is a superhero. She's the strongest woman that I've ever seen in my life. Oh boy, wow,
yo,
man.
yo,
Shout
let me
out
get
to
my
Kev,
points,
man.
bro. Let me
Yeah,
get my
do
points.
you,
Get
man? Y'all need
get
to
my get
learn.
my get my get my point across and get some points at home, bro. So
Absolutely. So you tricked me. I didn't know until you did the side eye, man. Y'all need to learn from this man, dog. That's how you do it right there. Shout out to
man,
Kev.
no, she
Um,
didn't know. She was in another room.
ah,
She was telling me bye.
that's what's up, man. That's hilarious. Um, man, we
Oh,
gonna we gonna close this thing out, man. But overall, what do you rate this thing?
man, before we do that, I did want to talk about Robot because he's
Oh,
he's
okay.
kind of one of those characters I think people were probably surprised about, because you're thinking he's like
Yeah,
kind of like Data, and then or Iron Man or something, and it turns out, he has feelings because he's an actual person, and the whole thing with the Moeller twins.
yeah,
And I know people were kind of like, well, why do you take him out of jail? Is he bad? Is he, what I mean? Is he have a underlying deal with them? So I
yeah,
thought that was another thing that I think people were kind of like, didn't see that coming, because
yeah.
I know in the comments I was like, what? So
Yeah, that's a good point. That was a pretty big twist, a big surprise. I didn't see that coming. But his main thing for transforming into the into the teenage version of Rex, which I thought
shout
was
out,
hilarious. That shit was hilarious. But Rex was like, "Why do you look like me?"
yo, what was it Manduka? Is Manduka's last name
Yeah,
Jason?
yeah. Jason Mantzoukas, bro.
Man, no
It's
matter what he does, he's gonna have fun with it. He doesn't
Oh
care.
my god,
He's
man!
gonna have fun
Anytime
with
I
whatever
hear
he
his
does.
voice, I just instantly start laughing, man.
Yeah.
Big Mouth, we got to do an episode of Big Mouth, man. Shout out to
Oh
anybody.
yeah.
Y'all drop a like if y'all know what Big Mouth is, if y'all like Big Mouth, man. It's my
Yo,
my my personal favorite show.
oh man, the only show that it sounds bad, but the other shows that are like one level below Big Mouth is like, was it Paradise PD and Brickleberry?
Yeah,
Like those are pretty raunchy. And then you go one level up is Big Mouth as far
yeah,
as then Family Guy. And in between there is Big Mouth, and Big Mouth is getting away with some stuff that you're like, oh, I didn't know you could do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
bro.
if you're been through puberty like everybody, or if you have emotions or hormones
So
like
relatable.
everybody, there's
Yeah,
something in there that you could take away and be like, huh, that's funny.
yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, nah, man, I love the characters that he voices, in the
yeah.
show, and this one as well, man. It's like that comic relief, even if he's not saying anything particularly funny, in the show, just knowing that it's him, his dialogue is really funny to me, man. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, man, what would you rate? What would you rate this show? I know we're giving it big ups, but what would you rate the
Man,
first season?
I'm giving it man, it's so hard. I think I'm gonna give this like a 9.5, man.
Okay.
Just because I've been looking for something like this, like, that has adult animation that has some sort of relatability. I don't know. The only things that making me say like I shouldn't grade it that high is because like between episode 5 and episode 6,
Yeah.
there's some heavy things that's in there that they didn't explore that much. Like after Monster Girl gets her face smashed in, and Samson gets his hand broken off pretty much,
Yeah.
and Mark is hurting, and he goes right back to Amber. I know there's a time gap in between there,
Yeah.
but they never stopped to address it. Be like, dog, who's Battle Beast and what was that about? And they never
Yeah.
never says like, I told you not to go into that, or he never tries to go in to see what's going on with Titan. So it was just between 5 and
Yeah.
6, I was kind of like let down. And that whole episode, most of the episodes I went back and watched over again, That episode I was a little bit more like episode 6 was I was kind of like, eh. I mean, and I know why they did it. It made sense to the story overall. Um, but I
Yeah,
think
I was
I
gonna
could
say. I
have used
mean,
one more episode in between there.
yeah. Well, that's what we had kind of touched on it earlier. You know, it's like some things were like left off, but you know, at the end, I can kind of see like they're leaving those things for the future seasons. You know, but the like that's going to kind of fill the gap until you know it ultimately culminates with you know Mark having to face off with his dad again. You know, and there being like this ultimate battle between Earth and what was it, Beltram?
Viltrum.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely gonna see all of that stuff come back into play, like the Mars situation, the Battle Beast, you know, dealing with Titan, uh, and then yeah, I was with you at the end of the episode when Mark, you know, ultimately like almost died, you know, from Battle Beast. Um, you could clearly see Omni Man was there. You know,
Yeah,
he was watching it shaking out, but at the end of episode 8, that made sense to me because it didn't make sense at first to me. I was like, why the fuck wouldn't he help him? But now realizing that, you know, his whole thing is the weak got to be eliminated. So even though that's his son, he probably felt in his mind was like, well, fuck, man, if this dude gonna take him out, it's got to be what it's got to be. You know, so
yeah,
that's the way that I looked at it. You know, and
yeah.
that's one of those tough things. You know, like that's what makes the show special. You know,
I
um,
agree, man.
but yeah, man,
What's your rating on it, man?
oh,
10? 10?
I give it a 10.
Yeah,
I give it a 10, Billy Bob. Uh, yeah, bro. I mean, you know, it's just it's just so different, man. You know, it's not what you would expect. Isn't it's just not what I was expecting, man. I'm obviously fucking. We started this channel because we're fans of superhero comic book genre type stuff.
right.
This does it, man. It's different. It knocks it out the park. I think it does an amazing job, and I'm excited to see, you know, where it's gonna take it from here.
Yeah. I would suggest if you do like this type of stuff where it's kind of more of a different outlook on the normal superhero tropes, but you're not really a fan of animation, no matter what it is, just can't do it. The Boys is something to check out, man. Like I said, different way to look at those tropes. So
And I've been sleeping
and
on
and
that one.
and that's in live action. So and the
Yeah,
same way you get in Amazon Prime is where you get Invincible. Amazon Prime is where you get The Boys. They have 2 seasons, working on the third. It's good, man.
it's good.
It's good.
That's what's up, man. Well, gotta get out of here, man. We're gonna get this day
Yeah,
started.
man.
But as always, brother, love you.
You
Appreciate
too,
you
bro. Yeah,
being
man.
here. And we're gonna get into it, man. Looking forward to the next seasons of Invincible. We got Loki coming up. We got Black Widow hitting theater soon. We got Bad Batch coming. You know, we did our May the 4th episode, but again, May the 4th be with you.
As
Uh
well.
and
Uh,
go ahead,
mhm.
go ahead.
No, if we get a chance, we gotta try to do a retrospect of the Mortal Kombat, man. I want to hear your
Yeah.
opinions about it.
Yeah, well, I gotta watch it first. But yeah, we'll definitely get into that, man. Any and everything that's a part of the nerd culture. If even if y'all want to send us suggestions for shows, if it's some weird ass shit out there, if y'all like, yo, y'all need to go back and watch Howard the Duck, and do a review on that shit. Hit us up, man. Let us know. Y'all have some interaction with us, man. Hit us up at our Instagram, our Facebook, our Gmail, whatever it is. I'll list Kevin's phone number on here so y'all can hit him up and get his wife real pissed at him. I would love to see
Don't do
that
that,
battle.
man.
We're gonna record that battle royale, and then we're gonna do a recap of the fight. It's no shortage of interaction and content that we're gonna put on here, man. So yeah, looking forward to that cheating scandal fight. So
I get my points taken away, bro.
already,
I need them
already.
points, man.
All right, man. Yo, we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
All right,
Peace and
bro.
love to everybody out there
Peace.
watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Later.
Later.